Here's Ian in Richmond, been waiting a long time. Ian, welcome to the show.
Hi, George. Love the show.
Thanks, mate. Thanks.
I want to make 2 points. One is around the Grey Keys thing, but also one I want to take a little bit of a mick out of you as well, if that's all right.
Sure, of course.
Regarding Richard Keys and Andy Gray, I believe I'm speaking from a sort of position of authority. I've been following football for 40 years. I'm 48, so I'm around the same age as Gray and Keys. Been a Chelsea supporter for most of that time, watched TV all of that time. But what they said and what they did, if it had happened at home, if it had happened in a group of people that they know, perhaps they're friends, fair enough. I do that, and I, have a little bit of banter, whatever you want to call it, with people that I know and know that they can take it. And I know people that I wouldn't take that chance with, but they were making those comments on the biggest football show in world football, as I understand it. Now, whether they were actually being live or not, people were hearing them. There were people in their studio who were employed by them who could hear that. Therefore, as far as I'm concerned, much as I think they're very, very good at their jobs, I don't care what happened to them, I think that they should go. They were arrogant. They were too big now, or they believed that they were too big for the show. Also, what I'd like to say is, I think that they'll be forgotten in about 6 months' time, because people keep talking about that Gray and Keys have revolutionised football. They haven't. Sky Sports has revolutionised football. Gray and Keys have been fortunate enough to be in the position, the pilot seats, if you like, to be there as the front men. Now, I think that they could easily be replaced. I haven't heard, you said earlier, about names that are leaving you cold.
Well, Jamie Redknapp, Graham Souness.
No.
None of them could fit Andy Gray's shoes.
No. I'll give you two names, and two names are actually TalkSport guys. How about Mark Saggers to replace Richard Keys and Alan Brazil to replace Andy Gray? Now, I think that they're both very professional, both very experienced.
Both very good broadcasters, yeah.
Absolutely, and they would fit in. Now,
not sure how politically correct Alan Brazil is.
Okay, well, maybe he'd have to...
he'd have to watch his P's and Q's, but he's a brilliant broadcaster.
Absolutely. That's my second point, just to take a little bit of mick out of you, George, much as I love you. You were criticising me earlier, The Sun and the News of the World, about the sexism. And I think your earlier caller, Debbie, talks about your TalkSport website, which, of course, has scantily clad women all over it. And I don't object to that. I'm quite happy to look at that. Taking you back to question time last week, where you were absolutely first class, and I put on my Twitter, I had a chat down the pub, I said, Alistair Campbell 0, George Galloway 1. But you were sitting next to a lady called Caroline Spellman, a Tory MP. Yeah. And I don't believe in her particular politics, but I've always thought she's a bit of a babe. I've always fancied her quite a bit. And one of the reasons is she's a nice-looking lady, but she's also got quite trying to put it nicely, a well-developed chest. Now, there's one point where she's talking, and the camera is behind Clark Carlisle, the footballer sitting at the end, and you're right in the background. And when she's talking, you're looking at her face, and then your eyes drop to her chest.
That's not true. That's absolutely untrue.
It's on BBC.
Ian, I swear to you by all that is holy, I have never gazed at Caroline Spellman. She does nothing at all for me. Nothing at all for me.
Well, you had a look to see.
I'm going to look. As soon as I get home tonight, I'm going to look. Ian, thanks very much for a great call. A great call. Thanks very much indeed. That's Ian in Richmond, who is accusing me of looking at the bosom of Caroline Spellman. And believe me, I swear, wallahi, I swear by God that is not true. I must have been looking, I don't know what I was looking at, Ian, but it certainly wasn't her chest.